there's so many amazing creatives from Nairobi, and there's some I'm particularly hoping to see. So let's go. Danniella Morgan is a self-proclaimed digital creator who boldly bears her body-positive content on a vlog she calls The Unconventional Truths of an Underdog, inspired by her life as an unconventional mixed-race woman unafraid to freely express herself. I've always been stalking you on your page, and now that I get to meet you, I'm super excited. What does your art represent? When you call yourself a digital creator, what do you put across in your artistic messages and all that?
Okay. So that's why I purposely put digital creator, because an influencer would that's such a heavy title, you know? We can influence people's minds, people's behaviors, people's moods, and I wish I didn't have that secret superpower, because there's so many things. And
even the word influencer is also stigmatized.
It's heavy, and I don't even think I have that effect per se, so I wanted it to be lighter. So I wanted to be a familiar face everybody knows, who has a message that everybody kind of wants to hear, you know?
I can just imagine, you know, having this international background. You grew up in England, and then there are things you saw there, and they became part of you. And then you come here, and then there are things which sit with you, but then don't sit well there. So what's been your experience in your skin?
Whew, what a heavy question. It's like, where to start? Well, let's just start from the basics, which is like now when I was younger. Like I said, I had a really tough time fitting in and making friends, because I felt like at one point I belonged somewhere, like with my cousins and stuff. We grew up all together, so there was no like, oh, she's this and that. But then in a school setting where people are not maybe used to seeing light-skinned or biracial women who are actually, biracial children rather, who can actually speak the language, who are different looking, but you know, I was still very much isolated. I've had a lot of bullying, and it was a bit difficult, but I did make a few friends on the way who didn't really see me for my color. But
it's funny you say that, because I have biracial friends who say they have the opposite experience. When they're back there, they're just black. They're not, you know, mixed race or, you know, half white, half what. They're just Africans. They're black. But when they come here, they're exalted as this top tier Mzungu extension.
Mzungu mentality.
Yeah, exactly. So is that the same, you know, for you? Do you experience that when you're abroad, you're this black chick, but when you come home, you're this Mzungu African, you know, trying to be, I don't know, what do you call it?
It really diminishes all the hard work that people have put from getting our colonization back, glorifying people who come from the West, who are half white, and it's a bit lost on me, because like I said, I've been really embedded in a strong Black Kikuyu perspective. So seeing this, it's never sat well with me. They expected you to be this very like neat, put together, like full-furnished
even
young
your voice,
lady,
man. You know? Your voice is strong, because again, another cliche is because she looks like she's supposed to be like, hi, I'm Danniella.
Like, no, I'm the babe with the bass. I've always been that way, and I got bullied like crazy for it. Yeah, so with that said, it's like also like people kept trying to shove me in this box, this messy kid who loved to overplay and overstay my welcome at the sandpit. I loved art. I was very different growing up. It's a difficult world to be different in, like I said.
I can imagine.
I love the fact that Nairobi is very inclusive of people. Like I have a lot of friends from like Sweden, I have a lot of friends from England, America, who come here, and they just feel a part of a community. They just identify as Kenyan, you know, and it's not because they have any African parents. You know, being African is more of like it's a home, it's a place, it's a feeling, you know.
You know, it's crazy. People don't read your captions, but it's easy to just go on your page and just say, oh, Danniella is this and that, but not getting deeply to know you. So when you want to put yourself out there as this fun, loving person, this person who, you know, is vocal about what she believes in, how do you make sure that you don't get mixed up by people's understanding or misunderstanding about what you want to say? Because it's a thin line. You may say one thing, but it's social media. If I don't want to understand what you say, I will not want to
choose.
I will not. I think it's nonsense. What do you mean your hair? Everyone gets alopecia. What do you mean?
Especially if there's a communication barrier, it could be just maybe, it could be even the way you speak down towards somebody's personal perception of you. They may not even like you. So you can be speaking the truth and in all of its glory, and people will still deny it, you know? So for me, you asked, how do I not get mixed up? It's simple. I just, like you said, you have to like occupy your space and your truth extremely as confidently as you possibly could, you know? And that's why I started the universal truths of an underdog. So I had mentioned once in my post that got like overwhelming response about how like it's okay not to feel pretty all the time. Like I don't have to constantly love my natural hair. I don't have to constantly love my body. I don't have to constantly post sexy pictures and be like, oh, feeling myself woke up like this. That is a lie. I did not. This took angles and selfie light and work, you know? And I'm just like, that's not who I want to represent. I want to represent authentic women who can occupy space confidently without having to depict society's view of what's perfect. And as somebody with like high functioning anxiety, like this is something I struggle with, where even when I'm in spaces where there's like a lot of pressure, a lot of people, because I'm in electronic media, and this is something that's not touched up as much as it should. Like there are people like who are hosts, who are anchors, who are radio presenters, who also feel that in the moment, but they can't let it show, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're addressing a lot of people and they expect you to be your most perfect, most eloquent self.
Yeah, there's a thing about, you know, being on that screen where you feel like a robot and you're just supposed to be zen about everything.
The whole time.
The roof is falling down, but let it fall as you continue looking at the screen. Thank you so much for coming, Danniella.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity to help birth new and healthy perspectives.
Should we go catch up with a Nairobi Design Week Remind session?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, I feel like that was a bit serious. We need to bring it down a little bit, shake things up.